When I married Ethan Parker 12 years ago, I thought my life was complete. We had a modest house in Portland, stable jobs, and eventually 2 wonderful kids. Our days were full of carpools, grocery lists, and Friday night pizza. It was a good life. But somewhere along the way, I began to feel invisible. Not because Ethan didn't love me. He did. But the spark we once had been buried under layers of routine. Wake up, work, dinner, sleep, repeat. And one day, while folding laundry in silence, I realized something painful. I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't alive either. It started with a simple question from my daughter, Chloe. "Mom, what do you like to do for fun?" she asked, holding up crayons. I froze. Fun. I used to love painting, hiking, even playing the piano. But when was the last time I'd done any of those things? "I like reading," I answered weakly. She smiled, satisfied. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd lied. That night, I looked at Ethan across the dinner table. He was scrolling through his phone, tired from work. I realized we were both on autopilot. And I whispered to myself, "This can't be it. Life has to be more than this." The next weekend, while Ethan mowed the lawn, I rummaged through the garage until I found an old box. Inside were brushes, tubes of dried paint, and a sketchbook with half-finished drawings. My heart ached. I used to spend hours painting landscapes, losing myself in colors and strokes. That afternoon, I set up a small easel in the sunroom. At first, my hand trembled. The lines were messy. But as the brush glided across the canvas, something inside me woke up. For the first time in years, I felt alive. Ethan noticed the painting later that evening. "You started again?" he asked, surprised. I nodded nervously. "Yeah. I thought maybe it was time." He studied the canvas, then me. "It's beautiful. I didn't know you missed it." I swallowed. I didn't know either. But I need more than laundry and grocery runs, Ethan. I need to feel like myself again. He set his phone down, really looking at me. "Then let's figure it out. Together." Over the next few weeks, I carved out little pieces of myself. I joined a local hiking group that met Saturday mornings. I signed up for a weekend art class downtown. I even dusted off the piano in our living room, playing soft tunes while dinner simmered on the stove. The kids loved it. Chloe begged me to teach her how to paint. Our son, Luke, clapped wildly whenever I played piano. And Ethan? He started coming along on hikes. At first, just to humor me. But soon, I saw the old sparkle in his eyes too. One Friday night, instead of ordering pizza, I suggested we try something different. "Let's cook together," I said. Ethan laughed. "Together? You know I burn toast." But he agreed. We turned on music, chopped vegetables, spilled sauce, and ended up laughing harder than we had in years. The kids joined in, tossing flour at each other until the kitchen looked like a snowstorm. It wasn't perfect. The pasta was overcooked. The bread burned. But it was the most fun we'd had in ages. That night, after the kids went to bed, Ethan and I sat on the porch with mugs of tea. "You were right," he admitted. "We've been coasting. I didn't realize how much we lost in routine." I smiled, leaning against him. "I didn't either. But maybe we can find it again." He squeezed my hand. "We already are." A month later, Ethan surprised me. "Pack a bag," he said on a Saturday morning. "Why?" "No questions. Just trust me." He drove us 2 hours into the mountains, where he'd rented a small cabin by the lake. No phones. No work. Just us. We spent the weekend hiking trails, cooking simple meals, and talking late into the night. On the last evening, we sat by the fire and Ethan whispered, "I missed this. I missed us." Tears filled my eyes. Me too. It wasn't about the cabin, or the paintings, or even the hikes. It was about rediscovering pieces of myself. And in the process, rediscovering us. Marriage wasn't just about staying together. It was about growing, evolving, and choosing each other over and over again. And as I painted in the sunroom, kids laughing in the background and Ethan reading nearby, I realized something. I didn't just want to feel alive. I was alive. Married life hadn't been enough. Not because it was empty, but because I had forgotten myself in the process. But by daring to reach for more, for color, laughter, and adventure, I found both myself and my marriage again. And that was the greatest gift of all.